Welcome back to the morning show. I'm Marshall Shore.
And I'm Melissa Farley. We're coming at you from the Arizona Center, which we love. We are joined right now, in this very moment, by Mark Young. Hello, Mr. Mark.
Good morning. How are you guys today?
Good. How are you?
Great.
So, our producer Ann reached out and was like, "You got to meet Mark," and that's basically all. No, I'm kidding.
That's all right. That means that check I sent her has worked out.
Yeah, wow. She's good like that.
Yeah,
I
that's
know.
good.
I know. But Mark, tell us about you and why you're here today.
Sure. So I'm the CEO and president of Mesa United Way and Azura, which is a new nonprofit that we've started, and we're trying to help kids in foster care and kids that have aged out of foster care and veterans and people who are living in poverty. And right now our focus this year is on assuring that kids can read by the end of third grade, which is a pretty significant issue in the state.
Okay, so you're focused on literacy then.
And many other things, but literacy is our focus this year. Yeah.
That's interesting. So I actually, one of my first jobs when I graduated college was for a nonprofit organization, and we would go into Title I schools, mostly working with ESL students and trying to make sure that they were able to read before they hit fourth grade, because that's kind of where the drop-off point was, according to research at that time. So yeah, crucial.
It's
work.
still true. That's the important marker. So we hear a lot of people talking about workforce development, making sure kids graduate from high school and move on to college, but without that basic ability to read before fourth grade, those other things become much more difficult to attain.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. So you said this was kind of a new
Azura's been here for 18 months.
Okay.
So Mesa United Way's been here for 102 years. I haven't been there the whole time. And,
are you sure?
Well, it's close.
Kidding.
And so one of the things that we did as a United Way, which was a bit unusual, is we started programming specifically designed to meet gaps of service in Mesa.
Okay.
So around foster families, kinship families, vets. And in the process of doing that, thinking we were going to serve primarily Mesa residents, we have found ourselves providing services for people across Maricopa County and across the state. So instead of being Mesa United Way, we wanted to open that up a little bit. So we put all of those things that we do under a new nonprofit called Azura.
Are you mostly donation based or
Almost entirely.
Almost entirely. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So because I know so many, season of giving, all the nonprofits are really pushing now.
That's right. Always.
Yeah. So what's the best or easiest way people can get involved or support your mission?
Well, funding is always important, and so if you go to if you go to Arizona Care, Azura. If you go to azuracares.org, you can see all the different ways that we can, accept your donations. One of the easiest way for people in Arizona for the work we do is the Arizona tax credits, which are really a great vehicle to support nonprofits. So we're capable of using all of those tax credits, and so that's a great way to give. Always looking for volunteers, especially with the online tutoring that we're doing. We could always use extra help there.
Okay.
Or we're happy to help people, if they just want an event for their company or for their social group, they want to get out and do some work, whether it's with us or with other people, we're happy to help people get that worked out.
Okay. So I just found out about this, and maybe it's the same thing, maybe it's not. I know that you can make tax deductible donations, but I also know when I went and met with my accountant, they were like, "Oh, in lieu of paying your state taxes, you can." Is that what you're saying?
Right. So back in 2008, they started what they call the qualifying charitable tax credit for foster kids, a foster care tax credit, because the budget was in some trouble, right? So they had stopped allocating as much money to foster families and then turned that responsibility over to the taxpayer. So it's your option. If you want to see how your dollars are spent, you get to choose.
Yeah.
So if you have any tax liability at all to the state, you can give that to a litany of different nonprofits. We're happy to take them. And and then that comes dollar for dollar off your state tax burden.
Yeah, I thought that was really cool because as a entrepreneur and business owner, I don't have taxes that come out, so I always owe at the end of the year. And yeah, my accountant was like, oh, you can pay your taxes, or here's this list of organization. And I was like, no way, that's amazing. So
Yeah, you can do a school tax credit. You can
Yeah.
do the qualifying charitable tax credit, which used to be called the working poor tax credit, basic needs, or the foster care tax credit. So there's
Okay.
several options, and you can stack them, so you can
yeah,
give all of it.
cool. Okay. I'm curious, how did this become your line of work or your passion? What's the
Yeah,
call
that's
there?
really interesting. So, I mean, I don't know if it's really interesting to anyone else, but it's interesting to me. So, I was a pastor for 30 years.
Okay.
Also a musician so my degree, my master's degree is in poetry, which is the perfect thing for somebody that's the CEO of a nonprofit. About 10 years ago, I decided I didn't want to do, for a variety of reasons, didn't want to do church work anymore.
Okay.
And working in the nonprofit field, helping our most vulnerable people,
Yeah.
felt like important work for me.
Tell us about the experience that the kids have
Yeah.
that you're working with.
Okay, it depends on the batch, right? So
Well, of course,
this week we're doing Jaquel's Christmas Box, which is a program of Helen's Hope Chest. And what we do is we set up gifts for foster parents and kinship families to come in and shop, if you will, for all the kids in their family. They get to hand pick all of that. A lot of times the kids come, and that's pretty cool. So that's
Yeah.
something we're doing this week. Helen's Hope Chest offers 5 sets of clothing 4 times a year for foster kids and kinship kids. And it's a pretty joyful thing to see kids come in. They get to self-select. It's set up like a little boutique.
Yeah.
So they get to try stuff on, pick what they want.
Yeah.
It brings dignity to them.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't know, when a kid gets taken out of their home, it's often in a hurry.
Right.
So it's like throw what you can in a trash bag, and that's what you leave with, and then you're supposed to be in school on Monday.
Yeah.
So we try to make sure that kids fit in, that
Yeah.
they have a sense of dignity. We had a kid that came in, we have a birthday room. So if you come during your birthday time, you can go in there and pick out a gift. It's pretty cool. So we had a kid come in, and 8, maybe 9, I don't know. And it was his first time in, and we said, okay, you get to pick a birthday gift. And he was a little frozen, didn't really know what to do. So we sang happy birthday to him, and he started to cry, and it's like, didn't mean for happy birthday to be sad. He said, this is the first time anyone's ever sung happy birthday to me.
Oh.
And it's those kind of kids, that just need they need love and support and dignity.
Yeah.
And we try to provide that there. In the reading program, we work with Title I schools, rural communities that don't have any nonprofit presence, and we do tutoring. And to watch those kids go from not being able to read at level to 12 weeks of an hour session to being above their level
Yeah.
is an amazing thing to watch. Not just their ability to read, but the confidence they gain,
Yeah.
and that sense of being able to fit in when they often don't.
You know what we discovered? I mean, you probably know this too, but we started getting joke books for the kids. Oh my gosh. It motivated them to read, and they had so much fun. It was like such a great...
That's a great idea.
Yeah, yeah.
And then you get to hear lots of bad
And
jokes.
you get to hear lots of bad jokes.
Over
Yeah.
and over.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
But no, it worked. I mean,
Oh,
like
no,
they
right.
would get so excited, and they would like fight over like taking turns with the joke books. So it was a good one. But I was thinking about how actually it was around Christmas time. I used to work for the Arizona Republic, and a columnist there, Karina Bland, had written a story about a young girl in foster care, and she had told Karina that all she wanted was for somebody to read her a bedtime story before she goes to sleep. And I was so moved by this, and I wasn't sure what to do, and I ended up writing this little blog that the Republic ran where I invited people to record themselves reading bedtime stories for this little girl. And it blew up. We got hundreds of people. The governor did it. We got a monk from out of the country that, like, all these people. And then people started sending her gifts and dolls, and and it was like, it so touched my heart that people wanted to help her. And I think one of the things that made such an impact was, right, we didn't ask for money. We didn't ask for, like, we made it very specific. ask. She just wants a bedtime story, you know, and that was something that I think people could relate to, thinking about reading to their kids and how they don't have that, you know. So,
Yeah, you know, we work a lot with kids that have aged out of foster care.
yeah,
And some of those stories, I mean, a lot of those kids were taken out of their home when they were 12 or 13.
yeah,
Foster families aren't terribly interested in taking kids when they were 12 or 13.
yeah.
A lot of people I know who don't want to keep their own kids when they're 12 and 13, right? So
Right.
it's understandable. And so when those kids come out of group homes, right, they really have nowhere to go. So in Arizona, about 900 kids age out of foster care every year, and within 2 years, 450 of them are on the street.
Okay.
So, you know, we do all this working to battle homelessness, often from the back end, which is
Yeah.
important. We need to be doing that. We're trying to figure out how to stop that from the front end. How do we
Yeah.
keep these kids from so that they're never on the street again?
How do the kids find you? Like, how do you get connected with?
DCS helps us a lot,
Okay.
but it's one of those things, it's, you know, it's the network. So once
Yeah.
a kid's in, then they tell a friend that they know, and then they tell a
Yeah.
friend they know, and, you know,
Yeah,
so
great.
it's, yeah, the foster situation, if you'd like to give, sign up and be a foster parent. Especially if you're brave enough to do that for junior high and high school kids, that'd be great.
It's a challenge.
It is a challenge.
Yeah, I had a mentee for years and years and years, and yeah, when she hit 13, it's like a switch flipped.
Yep, that's right. That's when you call in the
are you?
priest for an exorcism. Like, something's up.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. I see you have a little teddy bear
Yeah,
here.
I brought this for you guys. I don't know what I was thinking. Build-A-Bear does a great job. Their foundation gives us, I don't remember, hundreds of bears to give out to the foster
Oh, that's
kids.
cool.
So I thought I'd bring one for you. Should have brought two. So what I thought maybe is that Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday.
We get to share custody.
every
just
other
share
Sunday.
custody.
Yeah, I think that'd be nice.
Oh,
so there
thank
you go.
you.
Aw, thank you
Thank
so
you so
much.
much. Well, thank you, Mark. It's been such a pleasure learning about what you do.
Thank
and
you for having me.
yeah, your important work. And before
Yeah.
you leave, just one more time, tell people how they can either donate or get involved. And I hope you'll see a good response from our viewers
Sure.
here. Yeah.
I'll try to get it right this time. So go to azuracares.org and navigate through there to all of our programming. And if there's something that catches your eye or you'd like to support us financially or by volunteering, you can sign up through there and we'll get a hold of you quickly.
Beautiful. Well, thank you again,
Thanks for
Mark.
having
Thank you
me.
so
Yeah.
much,
I
Mark.
really appreciate it.
We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back after this with some things to do and probably some things to celebrate.
Indeed.
Yeah.